Jerry Foltz and Sandy McKenzie on the course, and Jerry's watching Chun here.
And she has this to get it to 11 under. Richard got home in 2, but left the eagle putt from 35 feet, some 6 feet short. She didn't miss a single one that length I saw yesterday.
Yeah, that was for a share of the lead as well. Can't make them all, I suppose.
That's what they say, but she would have challenged that axiom yesterday.
Terry Gannon and Judy Ranking in the commentary box. Afternoon, Judy.
Get it there. You know when you're above. You just look up, there's a mountain.
Right.
Keep it here with Chun.
Talking things over with David Jones, 134 yards of the hole. E&G with that just so aesthetically pleasing golf swing. No surprise, she is second on the LPGA in overall ball striking, which for those who might not know combines driving distance, driving accuracy, and greens in regulation. So she's not short. She hits it awfully accurately and good with clubs like this 9-iron here.
Hasn't won this year, but she's going to run away with the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year award on the LPGA. Not quite.
Right on cue, misses the green with a 9-iron.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that did not happen yesterday. She hit every green on the golf course, putted for birdie 18 times.
Just 22 years old as you look at the ball strike.
How square that club face was at impact. Look at her balance as she turns through all the way to her left side. Her coach is here this week.
Didn't quite get it to the green here at 10. Chun now getting set to play her third, Jerry.
Going with putter from a perfect line. Lift clean in place still in effect. Not as much for the current conditions as it is for the forecast, which still has a lot of rain, because the fairways, although a little wet, are certainly playable. This putt just uphill until it gets on the green. Then it's straight down towards Lake Geneva, so pretty quick and bending right.
C plus maybe with her standards. Yeah, it's a golf course that can't take a whole lot of rain at this point, though. Yesterday, that one shower that passed through, and that, what was it, the 9th green, there was standing water everywhere. To the 3 birdies, a bogey on the card, looking for a par right now at 10 in G.
And most players would take par here. Always one of the toughest holes on the course. It was yesterday, and this one's still with a little movement to the right for NG.
There you go. Yep, in the top 5 today in terms of difficulty. 5th most difficult hole. After the easiest hole on the golf course, 18, the way it's playing today. The 9th.
The 11th hole, par 4, 353 yards. It plays uphill, and it is a dogleg to the left, turns left right in the driving area. You can see the numbers. It's 223 yards to reach that nest of right-hand fairway bunkers. But with a good shot from the tee in the fairway, it is not a long second shot, although it is straight up. Green, once again, moves from the right to the left, just as the fairway does.
Chun next to strike.
With driver, also an aggressive play. Those bunkers on the right certainly reach. Well, that's dead pulled.
There's no way through to the green from there.
Boy, that club is just beautifully from the inside. Swings right down the target line. Finishes in balance with that high finish. I'm a bit of an old schooler. I love the high finish.
Well, that's the ball of Chun. And Jerry, not a pretty lie. And what about the route through?
going to pop.
There isn't one.
And if we stay in the
So-
rough, we're going to still have the trees to deal with. And again, we've got 3 shots to get to the pin. All for an extra 30 meters is in the next shortest shot. Aria, Julia, it's going to be the same because of the angle we're going.
Yeah, the lie is awful down in a little rut between the bark, pine straw, almost looks like cork down there, and the grass. So if she were to pitch out the direction she just walked out directly toward the fairway, she has to clear a little lip. Not a guarantee because she still has to keep the shot low. Playing it forward toward the green, she has to keep it very, very low for a good 80 or 90 yards just to clear the rough. If she doesn't clear the rough, she still has no approach. It's only a 160-yard shot to the hole.
Not the most simple of escapes here for Chun. Closest pursuer of the afternoon starters to the co-leaders right now.
If she figures out a way to make 4 here, Richard, it'll be some serious Houdini work. Getting it just in the fairway. Even the conservative approach she's taking, it looks like, is just not a given.
Looks like she went back. That second club is a little bit less loft.
Well, she has to keep it low, Judy, for only about 30, 40 yards on the line she's looking. But the one saving grace is, well, 2 really. The fairways are soft, and this one has a ton of slope from right to left, so she's hitting straight into the hill.
Hold on, Angie. We can play from there.
That's what you want to hear your caddy say. We can play from there.
He didn't say that after the tee ball.
David Jones, so far back.
You've got Lydia co-leading at Inbee Park, the winner last year, and Michelle Wee, who won it the first year, Richard.
So 3rd shot now for Chun.
120 yards on this side of the fairway. There's more slope than the other side, so the ball well above her feet with just a pitching wedge. Got to compensate for that. Or it can get away from you left quickly. Just what, 6-8 yards left of the hole is a rather sizable cliff, which you guys have seen already. Flying it all the way back there, pretty close to it. And that had much less spin than Arias because that was a pitching wedge. Good play.
Yeah, and she's on the correct side of the hole to try to miss.
It's not only your rounds that you're actually competing in.
Chance for a great escape here for Inji.
It would be. Not a lot of break in it.
Well done. Excellent fall. Just the 1 bogey all week so far. And it keeps her just 1 shot behind.
It's really nice to make a smart decision and have it work out.
She was in such trouble, though. It's kind of like the decision was made for her. There was no real risk to take.
Well, you're probably right. She didn't have any chance to.
See if they can do better at 12. Inji Chun at 10 under, Jerry.
Yeah, Area already laced a 2-iron down the middle. This driver. That's hit pretty well also. Left center of the fairway.
Yeah, you got bunkers there right near the landing area, too, and everything kind of runs that way.
Watch how she maintains that angle and then releases that club right at the ball. Beautiful extension through the ball. Finishes in balance on that left foot. And as I said earlier, love the high finish. Well, there's a sound that's unmistakable when a ball is compressed.
That was great. NG Chun.
Looks like it might get up top. Oh, yeah.
Beauty. Much like the previous group. We got one down below. We got one right where Yanni Sen was and made the putt.
There you go.
Talk about perfect speed and right in the center.
Everything going right the first 2 days. Look at that card. Out in 33. Picks up another one here at 12. And sharing the lead at 11 under.
I was able to visit with NG and her coach on the practice tee late in the afternoon on Tuesday. And one of the goals.
Co-leader teeing off at 13. Yeah, nicely down there. Top 10s in her previous 3 events coming into this. And she's in a little bit of ground under repair here in Chun.
Yeah, and unfortunately you have to go through the full procedure of taking relief from that and then playing lift clean in place, or you can simply just play lift clean in place from there without having taken relief. Both would be fine. I think she might have called for a ruling just to be sure.
Well, I think we have to give some of these players who are from other nations a little bit of a pass in the rules department. This wouldn't seem as though a place where you would need a ruling, but there's a lot at stake.
The penalty for getting it wrong, Judy, is just so severe in most cases.
That's right. There's a lot at stake, and
well, we saw the expense wrong call. So NG Chun ready to go at 13, sorted out the drop issues.
She wanted to be able to play lift clean in place without taking relief. That was allowed. She found a spot on the edge of it that was like a T, and she took advantage of it. A beautiful 3-wood 235 front, 259 hole. That was on the outer limits of her ability.
Yeah, was she right on the edge, though? Beautiful shot. So if she had been within the ground under repair and it was more than a club length to improve her lie, she would have had to go through the process.
Exactly.
But since it was not, she was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look back at some of this round from NG Chun. Birdie 2-3, dropped a shot at 4. Back on the birdie trail at the par 3 8th after a lovely tee shot. Turned at 33 shots. And this was the putt that took her alongside Fung and Park at the top of the leaderboard. And she may go above them at this par 5 13th coming up, a chip and a putt away from getting to 12 under par. Been impressive, hasn't it, from the world number 7. Looking for a second major. As far as the Rookie of the Year race is concerned, there's NG and there's the rest.
Not so much up and down.
Well, I suppose it would be a bit of a surprise if she didn't make birdie from here in Chun.
Yeah, not a tough pitch shot, straight uphill. A little bit of break to the left once it sends that little slope.
Well, no guarantee from there.
About 75 feet worth of chip and run. Let's see if it impacts. Her hands are just slightly ahead of that shaft in the ball. Yes, they are. Beautiful technique. Keeps that blade looking right at the hole. That's one of the keys with the little chip and run. It's much like what you would do with your putter blade. Kind of physical strength. Who was this good a putter?
Talking of putting well, NG Chun certainly got the measure of these greens. She says she's seeing the lines very well. It's the kind of course where a lot of players struggle to do that, Jerry.
Yeah, a lot of them have built into the side of a mountain. You really don't have a horizon by which to judge the actual slope. So you're trusting your feet, you're trusting your instincts, although Chun is second on the LPGA Tour in putts per green in regulation, 6 in total putting. That means she figures it out, with apologies to Gary Koch, better than most.
No trademark, don't worry.
I think it is.
Into the lead on her own. And it's the 22-year-old Korean Chun.
Yeah, her coach said that they were trying to find that good flow on the golf course where you, within your own game, can find some momentum.
So there's the tee up there in the background at 14.
Yeah, if there's even
Up in elevation, and we are about 1,600 feet up, going up the Alps. No location up front today.
Very interesting par threes here. There are 5 of them. This is the 14th, and the tee is really elevated. It is up above, right behind the 13th green, and you play down to this very interesting green. The hole was pretty much in the front portion of the green yesterday. It's pretty close to the front portion of the green today. All those right-hand bunkers always see a lot of play.
NG on top by 1.
Well, that was 5 iron. It plays 13 yards downhill, just right of the hole. And a half a bat short, but she doesn't want to replay that one. That's not a tough putt.
So the umbrella out, the rain falling. Chun, another birdie try here at 14.
Yes, the last chance to make birdie here. Area hit a pretty decent pitch shot, still has work remaining. Engstrom has about 10 feet after that difficult chip Judy described.
Yeah, this putt has been just extremely slow, Jerry.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think so because you're putting in the general direction of Lake Geneva, a little more to the right, but still. You have that in your mind all day long, and then you get to a hole where it's actually...
She is a very elegant player.
Chun trying to stay at 12 under back at 14. There you go, trying to do what Sari Pak did, make her first 2 wins out on the LPGA Tour, major championship victories. Careful there. Championship of the season here at the Evian.
So waterproof's now on. 15th tee for Chun.
Falling in the wet fairway. Most likely out of reach for NG, even with a good tee shot. And definitely out of reach now, Richard.
Yeah, in the thick rough down the right side. This was on the last green, and yeah, talk about dodging showers, dodging raindrops. One in the eye for our leader. Everything else has gone well for her, though. Not too many players, I think, have been injured by raindrops before, though.
Feelings have been hurt, I can tell you. Brittany Lincecum, 66.
With 8 birdies in 9 holes at one stretch of the golf course as well. Here's the tournament leader, and just a layup.
Indeed a layup, and not the easiest layup. Fairway really pinches in around some bunkers, some 160 yards in front of her. Right about the distance this one will end up. But she played it nicely.
Yeah, hit that ball very straight out of that rough, and it is sometimes pretty easy to turn it over.
Some pretty deep and slightly wet rough right there.
Hold the club just a little bit firmer. You can see the water splash. It's tough enough when it's kind of juicy, very green rough, but then you add a little moisture to it, really tough.
Nice layup from Chun, 3rd now.
95 yards. Want to land it just a little right of it, maybe a little past it. This needs to go a bit. Not much, but that's actually pretty good. It's going to be under the hole with a lot of break from the right.
Yeah, very similar putt to the one we saw Yanni Sen narrowly miss. But an opportunity for another step forward for Chun. When you think to what Lydia Ko was doing at the same age.
She conducts herself though with the manners, the reverence towards the game and her competitors that I'm sure makes her parents more proud of her her than her actual golf game. Great young lady. Now Chun has this one curling left for birdie. Not enough curl.
So just a par. Remains in front though.
It's got to bug you when you don't get it to the hole. And it's very makeable. See what NG does with this at 16.
Looking a little right of the hole and very slow up that slope.
Well, it just hit the brakes, didn't it?
Like it's on Velcro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the combination of greens that are not real fast to start with because they cannot be with this kind of slope. Now it's late in the day, so if anything, they're a little slower, and then you're getting periodic little raindrops.
You got some marks in them too at this point, as soft as they are.
Yeah, greens that really hold up really well, but you just can't help but have a little bit of damage to.
Richard.
And Chun finds the left-hand rough. A rare mistake. So being out of the rough obviously toughens this one up.
Yeah, well, if you could, if you had the ability to perhaps run something up, it's a lot easier out of the rough than playing a shot from, it's only 132 yards, but it is all carry playing a little over 140, and it's wet, thick rough.
And if you only put this ball on the front portion of the green, you have got such a scary putt.
She's trying to hit 9 iron, so she's expecting it to come out somewhat cleanly. Came out not bad, won't have much spin on it. Just carries.
Yeah, it's a pretty good result from that.
It's so excited.
Up the hill for Chun for birdie. Hello. The lead's just gone to 13 under.
I think she is starting to find that flow that her teacher was talking to me about, and saying that she needs to be a little happier on the course, and she needs that flow where she just goes from hole to hole. I think that's momentum.
Always easier to smile, I feel, though, when you're holding putts like that.
One awfully quick, moving a little right.
Final hole for Chun. There's the look.
Tee up a little bit today to take some of the teeth out of this hole, some of the brutalness out of it. And that is not going to be a problem. Right side.
Yeah, a little controlled fade. No problem in that intermediate cut.
But you do get a good look here of right in the driving area how the fairway is pinched in.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like it was going to be dead center. Had a couple of those yesterday, too.
I'm practicing it.
I'm not sure you want to make it that, but Chun just missed the fairway.
Yeah, just barely 149 yards also. This is 7 iron. This will be a two-handed, very high finish, Judy.
Oh, she loves those.
She loves that classic golf swing. How can you not? Good shot, good smart shot there.
Yeah, there's so many good results with that pretty finish, and she has one of those pretty finishes where she actually watches the flight ball, because I don't know that she's ever measured hitting the driver. She's only measured hitting the 2-iron and the 3-wood. So, you know, she may be at the 290 mark.
I was talking to her earlier about the fact I'm covering the World Long Drive Championship this year, and she should be in the women's division. She was asking me how far the women hit it, and I said, not as far as you.
Good putt over at 16, which is not far away, by the way. So Chun backs off after the applause. Boy, how impressive has she been through 2 days?
It's clear to me that her coach works with her, and she works really hard on her concentration skills and not letting anything get in the way of her focus.
She never gets mad. That's certainly a huge help. Such a great demeanor on the course, constantly smiling. She'll give a little slight bow to the crowd after they clap for her, and a big smile. She's a pleasure to watch.
We're not supposed to get angry on the course, Jerry?
Now you tell her.
You have to channel that energy positively, I was told, Judy. I never learned it.
Well, the one thing I do know is if you do get angry, best you get rid of it very quickly.
No reason to be angry right now. 63-66 for Chun, trying to make her second win out on tour.